All right, Ian. We had a mini cab that was announced by Taito, the Egret II Mini. And it's interesting. Usually news like this, we would just hold for like, it's a short intro topic. It's not really worth talking about for more than a couple minutes. But this one sort of scratched my brain a little bit. Sort of itched at my interest. That's not really a term. So it's a Taito mini cab, similar in scope to the Neo Geo one that came out about a year ago. And there's also like the Sega one. So, they're like, like a foot tall.
Yeah.
Roughly. It's enough. It's room for one person. So this is going to have a bunch of Taito games, 40 games preloaded. It's also going to be, the expansion controller is going to have an SD card with 10 games that use the paddle or trackball, which we'll get into. So there's a lot of stuff. There's only some of the titles have been confirmed so far, which we'll get into in a moment. So it's going to have a 5-inch LCD screen. The big thing about the screen is it can be rotated for vertical arcade games.
This is awesome.
So this is the first time I remember seeing this on something. You pull out the screen and you physically rotate it. That's so cool.
Which is how you do it on a real arcade cabinet.
So it's really cool.
But it's awesome.
And then you pop it back in. That's fantastic. So I guess it reorientates itself almost like it probably has like a cell phone type of, gyro.
Either that or just, I'm sure it's got a separate menu for that.
Because to remind people that a lot of the 80s arcade games, the 70s, where they had vertical displays.
Pretty much all scrolling shooters and a lot of the stationary shooters, like even Space Invaders, uses a tall screen. A lot of the early games, even the Namco ones, did a vertical screen. So, it looks like the Sega's Astro City Mini in terms of the white color. I guess the Japanese style. It's similar. All candy cabs share a similar design.
They're thick boys, and they got that like creamish white color on there.
Thick boys.
So it's based upon the original Egret II cabinet. I didn't know you could rotate. Okay, I had no idea that the original cabinet was like that.
You technically can on all cabinets. I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if this has a special mechanism for it.
It seemed like the original arcade was that they're basing it off of that. So, okay. So it has a standard, ball top joystick. It has 6 buttons on it. There you go. This is the games that it's going to come with before we get into the expansion stuff, which I'm kind of semi-excited about. You're going to get, this is out of the 40 confirmed, this is what you get. Space Invaders, Lunar Rescue, Good Old Kicks, Elevator Action, Chack and Pop, Bubble Bobble, Roston Saga, Rainbow Islands Extra, New Zealand Story, the cute little Kiwi, Don Doko Don, I've heard the name, not familiar. Violence Fight, heard the name, it's probably one you put in front of me, I know what it is when I see it. Kadash, Liquid Kids, Metal Black, and haven't heard of that.
Metal Black is a shooter, and Liquid Kids is another... it's more of a platformer, but it still has kind of like the Bubble Bobble type. You throw bubbles and it makes water. And it's a great game.
And Kaiser Knuckle, not familiar with that. It's like I'm gonna look that up. Is that a German fighting game? Kaiser Knuckle.
That sounds familiar, but I can't tell you if I've actually played.
So that's not all the games.
No, it says it's coming with 40.
Oh, it's a fighting game, Kaiser Knuckle.
Oh, okay.
That's a newer fighting game.
Explains the 6 buttons then.
So these are games from all eras. You got 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Oh, you're going all the way back to, Space Invaders, all the way up to, the late 90s.
So before I get into the extra accessories, Taito has a pretty robust arcade library.
Oh, yeah.
It's way stronger than something like Data East. Taito's like a notch above that.
No, Taito's great. They have some of my favorite arcade releases. Zookeeper better fucking be on here.
So I'm excited just from that alone that, this could be something that... Okay, I have not pulled the trigger on any of these before. I think I almost bought the Neo Geo one that was on sale, but the Neo Geo had the problem with the joystick being squishy and not reactive, didn't have micro switches in it. And
I almost bought the Astro City. I might still, but I haven't.
So that's interesting. But outside of this, it's going to cost about $170. Yep. So that's a little bit pricier than you expect, but you got the rotating cabinet, you got 40 games. So it has a couple of accessories that I think are cool. It has 3 accessories. I'll go in least importance to most importance. It has a standard 6-button like D-pad extra controller with like a standard
gamepad.
Then it has basically a double joystick layout of what you get. It almost looks like it can pop out from what it was, and it's it has your ball top joystick and 6 buttons. Okay, who cares, right? Now it has the special controller that has a trackball, a mini trackball, and a spinner and 2 action buttons on it.
That's what gets me.
And it includes games designed for that.
Yes, it includes. So there's going to be 10. They've only announced 6, but Strike Bowling, Arkanoid, Plump Pop, Civilion, Camel Tree, and Arkanoid Returns. I love something you've probably picked up about me if you've listened to the podcast is that I really love arcade games that use special controls that aren't joysticks and buttons.
It gives you a reason to play it. Yeah.
And what I hate is when those get ported and they try to shove them into a joystick control scheme. It never works. So being able to play some of these neat games, Arkanoid is, you're not playing Arkanoid unless you're playing Arkanoid with a spinner.
Yes, it's a totally different experience.
Yeah, absolutely different. So hopefully the spinner is of decent quality.
Sylvalian, I got to look it up. That's that weird shooter where you're a dragon.
Yes.
I always forget that one. Was that on Genesis?
I don't believe so.
I'm trying to remember what console that was on. Strike Bowling, I'm trying to see what era, if that was an early bowling game or not. 82, that's an early one, but that's, it's still probably fun to play those early bowling games. And then, of course, Arkanoid is the king of the ball, paddle and ball games.
And Camel Tree will be really cool, too. Camel Tree uses the trackball. It had a release on the Super Nintendo, but I can't remember what they called it here.
You rotate a maze around.
Yeah, you rotate a maze and
kind of like that one coming out in the Playdate, kind of sort of.
So Camel Tree will be fun on that. What the fuck did they call it in the U.S.?
The box art on Camel Tree in the Super Famicom is literally a camel looking at the ball. It's a funny looking logo there. So we have something that differentiates this Mini from the Neo Geo one already and from the Sega one, the 2 most famous mini cabinets, right? So that's the one thing I like to point out when I look at this.
On the ball. That's what it's called on the Super Nintendo.
On the ball?
Yeah.
So again, it comes down to price and you're interested in the rest of these games. And you do get the SD card slot with this paddle trackball controller. So yeah, they're kind of paywalling the ability probably to I thought you were shaking your head. No. Paywalling you maybe to jailbreak it and put on other ROMs.
I thought there was a SD card on the main unit too.
I don't see that listed here in this Verge article, but it is with the paddle though. Oh no, there is an SD card.
Yeah.
Oh no, the expansion says no. It just says SD card with 10 games preloaded on the trackball. So okay, wait to reconfirm that if it's going to have an SD card. Oh no, there is an SD card. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. So it's okay. It's not paywalled. All right, cool. So it's spendy though. If you want everything, even if you just want minimum, the unit and the expansion controller is going to cost you
$300,
almost $300, $280.
Yeah.
The extra little arcade stick is $80 for the mini little. That's pricey.
So that's where I pass. I mean, as much as I like this, $300. You can do a lot with $300 that isn't this. And I mean, I love it.
And then they force you to get.
I can't.
If you want to get everything, get the limited bundle that has the base unit, the 3 extra controllers. You get a soundtrack for $450. And I'm looking at the money. I'm like, let's say 110, 280. You're not really saving anything by getting that bundle. It's like you're not.
It's just to keep you from having to hunt it all down.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a shame. Hopefully you see a sale. This comes down. I mean, God, even if that controller was only like $60, I think that would be like impulse. But okay, $60 for the controller. I'll go.
My only hope is that $110 you're getting a metal fucking spinner on there.
Oh, it better. It looks metal. When you look, it better damn well be for that much money.
Yes.
I mean, metal spinner
better be a weighted goddamn metal.
At this
spinner.
point, almost all the aftermarket ones are. Cute little mini spinner. Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm sort of down on is the overall price when it comes to that. But no. And then plus they haven't revealed the rest of the games yet. I'm not sure if they're doing a slow sort of burn. And okay, we'll get the games out slowly and surely, like how they did that with the Sega. They had to wait on Yawning Triceratops on the Sega Mini, right? No, that wasn't on. That's only on the At Games ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right, well we'll see. Like if it goes on sale at Neo Geo one, I'll be on board. At $170 without the extra paddle trackball, that's a lot of money. Oh, by the way, there's also a little marquee thing on top. It looks like. On the picture to add, I guess, little placards for individual games. But I don't know. I didn't read about it coming with any though. So because this is not in English, this trailer so far. Well, there you go. That's our little mini coverage of the week.
Yeah.